Hello, I'm ValPancakes, and joining me tonight on the stack, I have Bo Gott. Bo's been enjoying a recent return to the ring and tearing up the Omaha and Des Moines area. Please welcome Bo Gott.
Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing tonight? I don't know why I asked that because nobody can respond to me.
Well, I'm doing a great
Okay, good.
time. Doing a
Good,
great
good.
time. Yeah, this is already going off the rails.
Heck yeah, this is how I like to do it.
Well, I've known you since I've been into independent wrestling, and that was like in 2012. I'm pretty sure you were probably like the first Magnum show that I went to. So,
Oh yeah.
as part of the Beautiful Bodies.
Oh, that long ago. Yeah. that was a good time, Like now I can't really do that right now, but I'm okay with it. I enjoy what I'm doing right now. So,
well, I still think you have a beautiful body, so it's fine.
Oh. Don't make me blush.
So, like I said, I've known you since 2012, but how long have you been wrestling?
Since my first match was June of 2008. I started training in April or May of 2008. So like 2 months into training, I had my first match.
So, what was your first exposure to wrestling?
My parents took me to a wrestling show when I was 2 at Vets Auditorium in Des Moines, which I don't obviously remember, but that was kind of like my first exposure. My dad always used to watch wrestling too when I was really young. He fell out of it like around probably 30, 32, but I always continued watching it. I've been watching it since I was 2 years old.
So, who were your first like favorite wrestlers?
Oh, I would probably say Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Jake the Snake Roberts, and Roddy Piper, just when I was a little kid. As I got older, my favorite wrestlers were like Mick Foley, Terry Funk, Masato Tanaka, Hayabusa, mainly deathmatch guys. So, yeah, I like that style.
So, what was a young Bo Gott like?
A very shy and timid kid. I'm still kind of like that nowadays. Like if I'm not like super comfortable around people, like I don't talk. But like I'm more wrestling really opened up my shell, so to speak. So I can be more outgoing around people I don't know because I just don't care. Like this is me. Like I like to drink beer. So and then that's when I get real loose. But like I was always like a nice kid. Like I always followed the rules. I more or less always followed the rules. Like there was times where probably I didn't, but I was just like a shy, timid kid who just was a law-abiding citizen.
So, how did you decide to pursue wrestling?
I'd probably say I wanted to be a wrestler my entire life. So like I was always told that I was probably going to be too small. I'm too short, which nowadays, like that's great. I at the age of 16, I was going to independent wrestling shows from like the time I was 12 to all the way into my adulthood until I started wrestling. So there was a company called IPW that had their own training school, and I was 16 at the time, and my dad was just like, hey, go and talk to him about training. And I was like, okay, cool. So I went and talked to him, and they're like, yeah, if you can get your parents to sign off, go ahead. And I couldn't get my parents to sign off. So I was really disappointed. I was like, I have my license, I can drive to Algona, like I can do all this stuff. And they're like, no, you need to finish school and maybe try to pursue college, which I did, and I hated it. So I dropped out of college. So I don't even remember what the question was. See, I told you I was gonna go all spacey, and then I'm just gonna forget everything.
Nah, you're fine, man.
So
I had asked, how did you decide to pursue wrestling?
so I dropped out of college. There was a school about about an hour away from me in Wellman, Iowa, which was in like this Big Ten shed, pretty much, with a wrestling ring in it. The company was Central Empire Wrestling, and I trained under Austin Bayless, which he showed me the basics and like basic psychology and everything like that. So I also planned on trying to maybe go to Harley Race's school as well and just move into Missouri and trying that. But like I said, I'm a shy, timid guy. So like sometimes I just didn't bet on myself when I should have. But at the same time, like I wouldn't change how I came into wrestling. And then that's where I ran into Jason Strife. So he is one of my trainers as well.
So to say, how did you decide where to train? You trained in Iowa and then you trained with Strife?
So like whenever I was on the road with Strife would always hop in the ring with us and show us, you know, new stuff that we could do or like how to up our game a little bit. But yeah, I solely trained, like I trained like once a week in that 10 shed for about a year. Because like I would just continuously go to training, even though I was wrestling in matches at that point. Like you had to finish out the whole year. So yeah, I trained in Wellman, Iowa, little town of Wellman.
So what was your first like bump in the ring like?
So there's another story too. So my first actual time in the ring, I forgot all about this until now. Like my first actual time in the ring was under Central Empire Wrestling banner. It was in January of 2018. Sean and Aria Dabari came down to do a seminar. And like they accepted everybody from actually trained people to somebody who's never stepped in a ring. So I took that first bump and it knocked the wind out of me. Like instantly, like I'm pretty sure I got a dinger. Like I hit the back of my head and I was like, oh, that sucked. But like I loved it. Like I wanted to do more. And yeah, like so my first bump really sucked. Like it hurt so bad. Like you'd step in the ring and like just watching it, you think, oh, that's kind of soft. Like, you know, it's not gonna hurt. Like it fucking hurts.
You said that was in
even at even at the age of 32, it still fucking hurts. So,
and you said that was in January of 2008?
Yeah, 2008. I probably said 18.
I think you said 18.
Yeah.
And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
I've seen you before then.
No, you haven't, Val. I'm a newbie. I'm a new green kid now.
Shut up. Don't even with me.
I know. Yeah, 2008. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So, what has been your greatest achievement in wrestling? And it can be like a title or a specific match or opponent, just whatever was like, this is the pinnacle of my wrestling career thus far.
I don't think I've reached that yet. Like, I don't think I've reached a pinnacle of like my greatest achievement. Like the greatest feeling that I know is like getting the crowd to react and like to get them to react the way you want them to react. And like, I mean, like, I'm kind of a mark. So like, I love it when I get like a standing ovation because I know I did something right. So I would say like anytime I would probably get like a standing ovation after a match. Like that's the greatest feeling in the world. I've had a couple, and I've had a couple in like different states too, which is really nice. It's not just like where usually I'll wrestle all the time somewhere like, at a Magnum or like when I was wrestling at CEW or like PWP, like the great ones are the ones where I'm not even close to home and people don't even know me personally. That's probably would be like a good, like my greatest achievement right now.
So, what has been the greatest obstacle that you've had to overcome in wrestling?
My shy and timidness. Like I'm still kind of a shy guy, like I kind of explained, but like I'm more comfortable with myself now, which is really weird. But like the more I wrestled, the more confidence I built. Because like I really wasn't like that confident of a guy growing up either. But like as soon as I started wrestling, my confidence would build and build and build. And like, I love myself. So like, I know it got kind of soft there for a minute. Sorry about
Aw,
but like I just love like, I don't know, I just love that feeling of like belonging, and that feeling of like I should be here and this is what I should be doing. So that's, I don't know, that getting over being shy and timid was probably the hardest part, because when you're out there in little ass spandex, like your whole body's showing, like you got to kind of let go of that. And like, being a character, like I love character work too. So like when I wrestle, I love to play a character. The Bo Gott you see in the wrestling ring is just like a snippet of a personality, but that's definitely not me. Like, I mean, I enjoy beer, of course, but like, I'm really not like a hillbilly, so to speak. And that's what I play. Like, I'm a fucking nerd. Like I play video games. I read comic books. I watch cartoon animated movies about Batman and shit. So, I mean, I like being a character as well. So, I mean, that helps breaks the shy intimidates too, because like I can go out and like not even have to be myself, if that makes any sense. And I love that part of wrestling.
you can be whoever you want to be.
I can be a psycho that paints his face and throws people on thumbtacks, or I can just be a fun-loving hillbilly that likes to drink beer and do my comeback with a beer in my hand. So, which I haven't done in a long time, and I really want to do it again, but like I don't want to ruin anybody's like canvases or mats anymore. At a certain point, I didn't give a fuck. Like I was just like, I'm gonna drink a beer and I'm gonna ruin this canvas. But that was mostly for strife though too, and I knew I could get away with it.
So I look forward to seeing that May 22nd at the next Magnum show.
No, Strife already told me I cannot ruin his canvas, so I don't know if you'll be seeing that. You might.
Well, like, can you do it on the outside?
Maybe. It just depends.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to slip and fall either. That's happened quite a bit too. So
safety first.
No, not with me. Not at all.
You stop.
I literally have no disregard for my body when I'm wrestling. I mean, I broke a rib my first match back, and then I was like, I think it's healed. I'm gonna go ahead and wrestle again this month. So,
how's that going for you?
Fine, actually. I actually feel great.
Yeah.
Like,
good.
The first 3 weeks was hell. I couldn't breathe very well. Laying on my back for long periods of time was terrible. Doing a sit-up sucked.
I mean, those suck anyway.
But I mean, I just took a floor bump for the first time since coming back, and I feel good. So
I shake my head at you.
I
know. So what are your future plans and dreams, either in wrestling, out of wrestling, both? And what keeps you motivated?
I set a goal for myself for this year that I want to do one WrestleMania weekend show. Like if I have to travel, I don't care. Like I want to do one WrestleMania show. So that's like, that would be my goal for wrestling. My goal for life is just to be a good dad, to be an outstanding citizen. Maybe go to work every day if I can. Just being a responsible adult, and like having somebody that my son can look up to.
Oh, that's cute.
I know, pulls at the heartstrings a little bit.
It does a little bit.
Yeah, and like my kid's everything to me. So he, if I have a bad day, he makes me happy. If I have a good day, he makes me even happier. Sometimes he's a little asshole, but I love him.
Wonder who you learned that from.
Not me. I'm definitely never an asshole. Okay, I can be sometimes. Sure. Sorry.
Come now. I've known you for like 10 years.
I know.
So, what has been like one of your favorite matches?
I've had a lot in Magnum, so I'm gonna probably spout out a lot. To be
Go
honest
for
with
it.
you,
I got time.
I know we're flying through this already.
We are, and I'm like, sir.
I'm sorry. I told you I didn't want to be long-winded. Magnum. God, there's so many that I really enjoyed. My Taipei death match with Joey Anderson is up there. My unsanctioned match with Duke Cornell, who used to be Derek Cornell at that point. I don't remember. Were you guys at that one? That was 2011.
We might have missed that one because, like
I think you guys were coming like shortly after that. That got real wild. My first Taipei death match with Strife was really, my whole series with Strife was really good. We did a lot of like creative things during that whole like 4 months that we were building to that Taipei. His girlfriend we had his girlfriend at the time run into the ring. I had his arms tied up in the ropes, and I was ridiculously in shape at this point. So I came out with like my pre-workout bottle, and inside of that I had a broken beer bottle hid in it. So I pulled it out and I went to go cut up his face, and his girlfriend ran in and like try to save him. So I grabbed her by the hair. I did the whole heel thing, and then I was gonna cut her. And then Strife said I quit, so I let her go. I think I kissed her on the forehead too. Like when I said I'm not an asshole, I was completely lying, because at that moment I was an asshole because I didn't tell her I was going to do that either. So I'm pretty sure. I think I got slapped for that too. No, like I got slapped in the tummy for that, but she was cool about it. Like she was a good sport. So
what?
oh god, wait, I got more matches I gotta say.
Yeah, I was like,
Sorry,
where are the rest of them? You promised me several.
I used to wrestle in for this company called Fully Loaded Wrestling, and like how I said, like getting a good crowd reaction, getting a standing ovation, like where I'm like 12 miles away from, or 12 hours away from home. And I had a match with Kenny Sutra and Matt Nix. It was me and Duke versus those two, and we killed it. Like we got a huge "This is awesome" chant. Everybody was on their feet. Kenny Sutra did a dive off a balcony onto all of us. Like it was just like fast paced, boom, 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 and like we did something right, because that crowd was all over it. Another one of our my tag matches with Duke was against Donnie Pepper Cricket and Superfly for the Magnum Pro tag team titles, and like again, like we must have did something right. That match was so ridiculous. I went back and watched it, and like I I did so much dumb shit. So Superfly at the time had the hood, and which is a mask if anybody doesn't know. My wrestling lingo is going to start coming out here shortly. And so like we put a mask on Donnie Pepper Cricket, so they got like luchador power, I guess. And so we ended up putting beer boxes on our heads, and we were beerchadors. Yeah, that's how we pronounce it, beerchadors. And so we put that on our heads, and then we both took like a double Japanese arm drag, and that hurt really bad for some reason. I think I just took a bad bump. And so yeah, and like he did, like I walked the ropes, and I was drinking a beer while I was walking the rope, and then I did an arm drag, and then Donnie puts his mask on, and he arm drags me until I get to the corner, and then he does this like cartwheel. Like Donnie's like a big boy, and like so he does this cartwheel, a back roll, and then he gives me a stink face, and I'm like, and like God, the crowd was just eating it up. And then me and Dookie will put the heat on him, and everything just seemed to work at that point. Oh my God, all these matches are starting to pop up in my head now. This might take a while now. Matches I had at CEW, I was their heavyweight champion for a bit. I had a really good match with Chief out of Kula Kula.
You had a good match with him?
Yeah, I love Rod. Me and him get along really well.
Well, that's good.
Now what it was? Oh, we climbed up to this like 20-foot ladder, and we had like a triple stack table, and we both went to fall into it, but as I fell into it, the top table slid off. So I didn't even break the table. Like I just slid like to the floor. And like I got a good crowd reaction out of that. Like anytime when I do like stupid shit to my body is when I get like the best crowd reaction. So I think that's why I do it. I think it's kind of like just like a drug. Like, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna get over as shit. So God, what else? Now I brain farted. Like I thought, like I had a lot of good matches at Central Empire Wrestling though too. They used to have these like guys that would rent the ring out. They were like a little backyard wrestling fed that lives here in Oski. And so that's the first time I ever wrestled Jason Strife was on that show, on that backyard show. We were their main event.
Is there any footage of this?
No, I don't. Well, there might be. I know the guy that used to run it, so I might have to see it. But like this was like this was like young Jason Strife, like NWA Midwest. Like he just got off of his NWA Midwest X Division title run, and I'm just this like dopey looking dude just wrestling Jason Strife. But like it was really good, and I kind of impressed him, and that's kind of why I think he took me under his wing. Like my four like core group of guys. There goes me, Superfly, Duke Cornell, and Sean Nautilus. I wrestled as a homeless character at one point. This was before I did it at Magnum.
Oh, so you've been homeless twice.
I've been homeless twice. And so we did it was me and Sean Nautilus as the Homeless Express versus Team Lariat of Joey Anderson and Marcus Holiday. And we had oh God, why can't I even remember what, like we had some like hardcore match with like a homeless like gimmick tied to it. So Sean Nautilus pushed me out in a shopping cart, and we had this cardboard box and we cut a hole in it. And, like we found like a screen for a window. And so it was like my little home. But that match got real bloody too. Me and Joe bled buckets for that one. Yeah, there's so many more matches that are running through my head. I probably can't name them all in an hour and a half.
Well, you should see if you can find any of them and then send them to me.
I'm pretty sure the homeless one is on YouTube somewhere. I think so. I have to get with Jeremy for that one. Any of my Magnum matches that are on IWTV, you can watch for Magnum. Only $9.99 a month.
Well worth it.
What? Yeah, I have it and I love it.
I watch IWTV every day. Every day.
Oh yeah. Another match. I forgot. So at APW, it was Donnie Pepper Cricket and Angela Slane versus me and Duke Cornell. And that's the first time I took a Canadian Destroyer. I think that's on there. Yeah, there's just so many. There's just so many. But like, if you want to see like any of my Magnum stuff, it's on IWTV, which is great. And you should really get it. Cheap plug.
Really should. You really should. Like I said, I watch IWTV probably every day. Every single day.
It's either that or HBO Max for me.
Other than catching up on Hoarders and Intervention, I've only watched wrestling and Twitch for months.
Yeah. The new Mortal Kombat movie just came out and I've watched it 3 times.
So it's good.
Well, I think it's good. I like it.
I've heard.
Yeah,
both ways,
I'm a Mortal Kombat nerd, so like I get real deep into the lore of Mortal Kombat. Like I go through like YouTube videos and I just watch all this lore on Mortal Kombat and like backstories, and I love it. I'm such a fucking nerd.
Well, while we're in the general arena, so what are some of your like? Because I know that you said that you're a video game guy, and do you play games on Twitch? I feel like you do.
I did for a bit. I almost got to that 50 follower mark, and then I just kind of fell out of it. Like I mean, I want to get back into it, but it's just getting kind of the time, and like I'm starting to get busy with wrestling again, which is real nice. Like I don't know, I'll get back into streaming at some point. I'd probably have to do it like a weekday deal, and like that's not a very like popular time to do it, but I'd probably get back into it here soon. I streamed some Borderlands, the new Spider-Man Miles Morales, Until Dawn, which I love those kinds of games, like those decision-making games. What else? Oh, I streamed a lot of Fall Guys because that got real popular. And then like I'm not a Call of Duty guy whatsoever, but I played a lot of Warzone with my cousin and some of his friends and some of my friends. So it was just a good old time.
So what are some of your favorite video games?
The Borderlands series is probably my number one. I actually have like, I don't know how well you can see this, but like my whole sleeve is dedicated to Borderlands. Mortal Kombat's number two. And then I already talked about my love for Mortal Kombat. Like, I think I just like Borderlands just for the simple fact of like Borderlands 2, the main bad guy was Handsome Jack. And he's like this pompous asshole, but I fucking loved him. Like, he was so funny. Like, he's just a sarcastic dick. And it was like, there's just times where I was just like laughing my ass off just watching him. What would be I don't know what would be my third video game. Probably like the like Until Dawn series. Like they have 3 games out that they're just a decision making horror game where if you make the wrong decision, somebody dies. And so like this last one, it was called Little Hope, and I only had one person die. And Until Dawn, I had everybody die but 2.
So an improvement.
I guess like I think Little Hope was a little easier to play though too. Like it was it wasn't just bait. Like the only reason why I had one person die was because I got drunk and I was playing it, and I was supposed to hit like this target, and I obviously didn't hit the target, and then she died, and I was like, oh, that sucks. I could have had everybody live in this game if I wasn't fucking drunk.
Well, you did say you liked beer, so
I do like beer. I'm currently drinking Miller Lite, which is weird, but I enjoy it. I was a PBR guy for a long time. I try to stay away from like the harder alcohols unless if you put a margarita in front of me, because I love me some girly drinks. Anything with sugar and alcohol in it, I'm down.
So next time you're at a wrestling show and you see Bo walking around, make sure to get him a margarita.
That's right. It's got to be on the rocks.
On the rocks.
With some salt around the rim. I used to like them frozen, but like I noticed that I like them on the rocks more because I feel like I get more alcohol out of it. So
I suppose it depends on where you go and how heavy they pour.
Like last month I went to this little Mexican family restaurant in Des Moines, and like those margaritas were good. I ended up having 6 of them, and I was drunk off my ass.
Well, I hope that you had a sober driver.
I had a hotel room that was like
literally
like a block away. So
okay. You can stumble that far.
Val's got to experience drunk Bo, drunk Brian, whatever you want to call me. I don't care. You got to experience drunk Brian a couple times.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Blacked out drunk Brian.
Yeah, I didn't know how you got back to your hotel room, Brian.
I don't even remember how I got back to my hotel room.
I do, because I drove you there.
Yeah, you drove me there. I don't remember getting in the room. Like
that I can't help you with.
I woke up and I was like, how the hell did I get back here?
Teleport.
Must have been just teleportation. I wish that was a real thing. So these long ass drives, sometimes I can just be like, whoop, I'm here.
I wish it was a real ass thing so I could go to wrestling shows without having to spend $400 on a plane ticket.
Yeah, like you're a true fan. Like I don't know if I would even do that. Like
I've done that.
I want to, but at the same time, like that's $400 plus you got to pay for a hotel plus all your food. Like you're a good fan. Like because I don't know if I could do it.
It's right now at any rate the only thing that brings joy to my sad life, so that's why I do it. Plus I've been lucky that I've stayed working through the pandemic and
Yeah,
have been able to set a little aside, and then of course when the stimulus and that kind of thing that helped me out quite a lot. So
it was pretty nice to see you on IWTV, like outside of Magnum.
Thank you. I had a blast at every show that I've gone to.
Good.
Be it the because I went to the Collective in Indiana last year.
Mm-hmm.
In October, I went to like some ICW shows at the end of February in Tampa, and then I went to a bunch of shows this year for Mania Weekend.
Yeah, that I seen you at a couple. I was watching some Mania Weekend shows, so
it was a good time. I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
I mean, God, I want to go at some point. Like even if I'm not wrestling, like I want to go and experience like Mania Weekend. I don't even want to go to WrestleMania. I just want to experience all the independent shows. So maybe next year.
I mean, I'll be in Dallas.
Yeah, like I might. I mean, I've driven to Texas a little bit, so
yeah,
that's one of those long ass drives that I wish we had teleportation for, but which I didn't drive. Is mostly Duke's the wheel man, so he usually drives, and yeah, I sleep in the back seat every once in a while. Luckily on those trips though, we have like 4 or 5 people in the car, so at least somebody stays awake.
So what's your favorite, like who are your favorite road buddies, or who's like top 5 in your Russell car?
Top 5. You're gonna put me on the spot now. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
We're hurting feelings tonight.
Number 1, Duke Cornell. Like me and him.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know. Me and him, we pretty much grew up in the business together. Another one is Superfly, which when he gets drunk, then I have to drive, and I don't like that because I want to get drunk. Donnie Pepper Cricket, he's fun to go on the road with. Do I have to just name 5?
You can name however many you want.
Okay, good, because that's what I'm going to do.
We're going to have an 18-passenger van. It's fine.
Joey Anderson, he's super fun. Jason Strife, like drunk Jason Strife's really fun. I'm gonna tell this story. Fuck it. So
do it. Tell it.
So
Exclusive.
we had a wrestling show in Oski, which Oskaloosa, Iowa is where I'm from. Small little town, 45 minutes away from Des Moines. We got real drunk in my apartment, and he was like, "Oh, I need some fucking food." And like in his drunk Jason Strife voice. So he gets in the car with Donnie, and he comes back with all these like things of French fries. I'm like, what the fuck? Why'd you get all that much French fries? He's like, dude, I was in my underwear at the drive-thru, and the lady was kind of impressed, so she just gave us a whole bunch of fries. She said, thank you. Strife, if you're watching, I love you. This was not mature Jason Strife time. So this was probably back in like 2010. Like Jason Strife has grown up a lot since then. So I'll throw that out there. I know he didn't tell very many road stories, but I might have to tell some.
I hope that you do.
I think in that same weekend, I was pissed drunk, and so it was either that same, like some of those weekends just kind of blur together. So like we pull through McDonald's, and we're ordering food, and I order mine, and I finish it with and a motherfucking Powerade, and the lady's like, "Sir, no cussing," and I was like, "Oh, sorry." Law-abiding citizen.
Just cussing at the poor lady at the McDonald's.
I mean, I wasn't cussing at her. I just wanted a motherfucking Powerade.
So when you're on these lengthy road trips, because teleportation isn't a thing yet, despite it being 2021, what do you like to listen to? Like, what's your favorite, like either like road music or I don't know if you listen to podcasts? Like,
I listen to a broad spectrum of music. So anywhere from oldies to the only thing I don't listen to is country, pretty much. Yeah, I know, surprising, right? Like I like a few country songs here and there, but like I can't listen to country for some reason. Like I'll listen to Johnny Cash, Dirks Bentley. Like I got into like a little country phase there, like back in like 2012. So some of that stuff from that time, which I don't remember who I listened to at that time. Uh, Growing up, I listened to a lot of Insane Clown Posse, and so
that I
like
didn't know.
whenever I feel nostalgic, I will go back and listen to Insane Clown Posse. I still listen to Twisted every once in a while because some of their new stuff's really, really good. Which I don't know if you know who Twisted is, but
I'll take your word for it.
you
I know who Twisted is.
okay.
I'm aware of Twisted.
Okay, well
Not in a way
that's
that I
good
want
enough.
to listen to them.
Currently, I'm listening to a lot of rap music, like old school rap music, because I can't get into like the newer stuff. So I'm listening to Tupac, NWA, Ice Cube. Uh, I'm also secretly a huge Cardi B fan. I love Cardi B. Anyways,
Would
we'll
you
get
go?
out of
Would
that.
you go see Cardi B in concert?
Oh, absolutely.
So you would pay like big Cardi B money.
Yeah. I'd even pay
Interesting.
like I'd even pay the $25 balcony seat. Like
Hmm.
God, what else do you know who Little Dicky is?
No.
Okay, so he's a white rapper, and
Okay. We're
he's
already
real fun.
starting off good.
He's real funny, and I implore you to go and watch some Little Dicky videos. I'll send you some on YouTube because like I've been on a real Little Dicky kick here lately too.
Little Dicky kick sounds like something that happens in the ring.
It has. It probably will continue to happen. Actually, Little Dicky has a show on FX. It's called Dave, that's his real name, but it's like his backstory to like when he was coming up to be a rapper, and it's really good. Like it's not like a complete like documentary, but like there's things that he puts in there. So
Interesting.
yeah, I would implore you to go listen to Little Dicky. I think you'd like him.
Well, like send me a video after
I
this.
will. I'll send you four probably because there's like
Or
he did like Sway in the Morning, like it's like a radio show, and they had him freestyle, and oh my god, it's so good. Like he's such a good rapper. Uh, I listen to a lot of pop. I listen to a lot of pop punk. I don't really listen to like punk, like unless if it's like Misfits. I'll listen to Misfits, but I really like pop punk. Uh, I'll listen to like some rock music here and there. I don't know. Like I just like stuff that, and like I'm kind of a sad boy, so I like sad boy songs. Uh, that's kind of my main go-to every once in a while. So,
what are some of your favorite sad boy songs?
oh god, Meatloaf's 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Ozzy Osbourne has a song out called Ordinary Man. God, what else? My buddy Daniel, he's a musician, and his band's called Search of X. and he has a song out that's called All Right, or It's All Right, and I love that song too. I'll send you that one too. That song's so good. He also has a song called My Big Chungus. So I'll send you that one too. Uh, I like a lot of sad boy songs, man. Like, and it's not because I'm sad. That's just like, I don't know. I like to feel that emotion of being sad for some reason.
The Bo Gott sad boy mix.
Pretty much, yeah. I actually have a lot of like on my like Apple playlist. Like I like half of it's like sad boy songs, and then the other half of it's like, I'm gonna listen to this to pump me up. Like Cardi B's Up. I'm not a dancer whatsoever. Like I can't move. Like I have no steps, but I will fucking dance to that song as long as it's playing.
So what would you say are some of like your hype songs? Like they get you like either ready for your match or
Definitely Cardi B. God, I used to listen to a whole lot of hype music, and then like as I got older, like I kind of just mellow out a little bit. Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison Blues. God's Gonna Cut You Down, which I currently use Folsom Prison Blues as my entrance music at Magnum, and then I used to use God's Gonna Cut You Down. Oh man, now I'm blanking. Kiss's Love It Loud. I like that song. That pumps me up, but I think it's just because it was like Dr. Death, Steve Williams' old entrance music. Like the Brood entrance music pumps me up really big. ICP's Chicken Hunting pumps me up. Well, like just growing up, like I would watch like the JCW tapes that they would put out, and like that was their entrance music. So I was like, I got like super hyped for that. I actually wrestled for them once in 2010, 2011. They had a concert in Council Bluffs, and they had wrestling for like the first 2 hours of the show. So Strife got me on that, which was really cool. And then at the end of the night, we all got to go on stage with ICP for the very last song, and we got to shoot Fago and shit. Oh my god, that was probably like the greatest like wrestling experience of my life.
have you ever wrestled at the Gathering?
No, that was like one thing I really wanted to do, and like I probably had a couple opportunities to just like travel to go to the Gathering with the boys, because I know Stripe did it once, but I think like adulthood took over, and I had to work, and I had bills to pay. So, but that I think that would be probably another goal of mine too. I think once like this pandemic is kind of like fully over and we can fully like get back to where we were, like that would definitely be a goal for mine, I think.
Well, I hope that for your sake, you can go to the Gathering.
Yeah. I mean, it'd just be like a total nostalgia kick. Like,
I mean,
yeah,
I think it would be a full trip, like just being there in that atmosphere of like weird and crazy.
yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, like the people that were at the ICP concert when I wrestled there, like there were some pretty crazy people. Like somebody told Duke that he wasn't a real juggalo because he didn't have a knife in his trunks.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Gosh, yeah.
while he was wrestling, or like
I think it was.
I
think it was after we got beat.
because I can't foresee having a knife in on your person.
Yeah,
while you're wrestling, that seems a little dangerous.
Like that's going to stab you in the leg, or even worse, it could stab you in the private area. You don't want to get stabbed there.
I don't want to get stabbed at all.
I don't either. Well, I mean, okay, deathmatch wise, maybe, but not like with a real knife. That's scary as shit.
So when you're on the road and you're traveling, what are some of your favorite road snacks?
I'm definitely a gas station guy. So like if
Do
we
you have a
stop,
favorite gas station?
Casey's General Store.
Hell yeah, you do.
Hell yeah, they make the best pizza in Iowa.
Right? They make
Like
the
their
best pizza. End of discussion.
Their taco pizza is amazing. Then you just put a little sour cream on there, and then you put the taco sauce on there. Hell yeah. Casey's is mine. Like right now, I'm on like a watermelon Mountain Dew kick. The major melon stuff. So like that would be like my choice of pop, because like obviously like I should be taking better care of my body, but I don't. My favorite candies are probably Reese's peanut butter cups. I'm a huge peanut butter guy too. I love peanut butter. I don't know, like I guess like if we're just gonna stop at a gas station just to get something to eat while we go, like I'll grab like a sandwich, or like if there's a Casey's around, I'll definitely grab a pizza. Like I'm on like these like Mountain Dew energy drinks too. I can't remember what they're called. I just smashed
like the
one.
Kickstart.
No, not the kicks. It's like the newer ones that they have out.
Oh.
But like I smashed one before this because obviously I've been up since 3 a.m. So yeah, I guess like I mean whatever sounds good, I guess I kind of just grab. And I don't like to like lollygag in the gas station either. I just like to get my shit and get out. So whatever looks good at that time, I'll grab it.
So what's your favorite city to wrestle in?
Omaha's up there. Like Oskaloosa, which I really like. I mean, that's my hometown. There's nothing that beats wrestling in your hometown. Oh my God, what it was in North Dakota. Minot, North Dakota. That's really fun to wrestle in. Like, I mean, like they don't like they get like WWE and stuff there, but like their independent scene, like when I was wrestling there, hadn't like grown. So like they really appreciated wrestling. Magnum's always going to be up there, which I already said. So Omaha, Nebraska. Yeah, I would probably say like those three. Des Moines really fun to wrestle in. Like if the crowd's into it, like there's sometimes the crowd's just not into it. Like when I was on shows, and that could have been my fault though too. Yeah, I would say probably Omaha, Minot, Oskaloosa. Those are like my top three.
So who has been one of your favorite opponents over the years?
Duke, because we just hit each other as hard as we can because we're friends. Joey Anderson's really fun to wrestle with. Superfly. Well, Jay Fowler, Buns of Steel, whatever. Like I always call him Superfly still. But Buns of Steel, Jay Fowler. I used to be like really intimidated working Jason Strife just because like, you know, he showed me some stuff and he was kind of one of my trainers. But like now, like I can just go out there and I can wrestle him too. He's in like hella good shape, so I'd be probably blown up by that point. There's some newer crop of guys that are coming in too. Damian Saint was really fun to wrestle. Even though like I broke my rib that match, like I mean he hits hard and like I love that shit. Like fuck, hit me as hard as you want, just hit me in the fucking safe spots. Just a violent man I'm just a nice man that likes violent things. Gable Galileo, I just worked this last weekend, and like he's so smooth and he's such a good heel. I didn't have to do anything. Like I just wrestled JJ Garrett for the first time, and I love JJ Garrett. Like I love him as a person. Like I love him as a wrestler. Like he took really good care of me. And so I don't know, there's so many people I just love to wrestle with. Like I just love wrestling. So like anytime I get out there, I've only had like a few bad experiences wrestling people.
And who are those people? No, I'm kidding.
They were
No,
I mean I'll talk about it. It's fine. Like there was a couple of like the old OWA guys, like the Omaha Wrestling Alliance guys. Like they hadn't wrestled in forever either. So really I can't put the blame on them. But there was one guy that like Like he just didn't like. We were going over the match, and he was just never around. I had a bad experience with Jason Strife, but that was my fault because I forgot a bunch of spots because we wrestled at like IWA Mid South, and I'm like, oh, this could like jumpstart something, and then I just fucked everything up. So,
Oh. Oh.
but that was nothing on Strife. Strife is a constant professional, so especially in the ring.
So, who's been your favorite tag partner?
Well, obviously Duke. Any of the Guns and Beer guys, like Duke, Joey, Sean. Like Duke's probably like me and Duke like tagged forever. We went on a good like God, we started tagging in 2008, and by the time that I quit wrestling, it was 2018. So I mean that's a good stretch. That's a good 12-year stretch. Yeah, any of the Guns and Beer guys, not Jay Fowler because he just is too complicated. Which I don't know. No, I love Jay Fowler. We actually, me and him grew up in Oski together, so like he's like my longest like friend that I've had, like outside and inside of wrestling. So probably those guys because like I typically don't tag with anybody else unless if it's the 3 other members of Guns and Beer, which Sean is retired now, so it'd just be Joe and Duke. Oops. And then Jay Fowler because we actually started as a tag team when we first started wrestling. So
You've wrestled a lot as a tag team. I feel like,
other than deathmatch wrestling, like I love tag team wrestling. Like there's so much you can do like as a tag team. Like there's so many different opportunities to take like wrestling in a tag match than you could in a singles because you got 3 other guys in the ring with you. So like you can like make things complicated or you can make things simple. You can do this, that. Like there's so much more stuff you can do as a tag wrestler than as a singles wrestler. And I've always loved tag wrestling though too. So now if you ask me what I liked the most, I can't decide because I like both of them a lot. So I like my deathmatch wrestling and I like my tag team wrestling, which if Duke gets on here or Joe gets on here, they'll probably just say I'm just a subpar deathmatch wrestler at best. So
well, I thought I maybe saw Joe in the chat very briefly. So,
well, hi Joe, I love you. If he's still on.
So what is your favorite move to take and what is your favorite move to give?
All of them hurt to take.
That's what everyone tells me.
Everything hurts. I like taking a good brain buster, especially like if I really take a brain buster, like if I'm getting like squished, like because like for one, like it's really gross, like it's really gross looking, but like you're fully protected. But a good brain buster is such a fun move to take because it gets a good crowd reaction. Favorite move to give would probably be a Saito suplex, which is like a backdrop driver, whatever you want to call it. I like taking a lot of strikes, especially if they're good strikes. If they're not good strikes, then I don't like taking them, and then we'll go to something else. I like taking pile drivers. I don't know. I like bumping just in general. So like usually I typically never say no to anything, which I probably should start looking at saying no to some stuff. I like hitting high cross bodies off the top rope, especially because I get real high, except like that's what broke my rib this last month. So I mean, yeah, I just typically don't say no to any move. Like if I feel like if I absolutely feel uncomfortable, like 100%, like I don't think I can pull this off, then I'll say no. And like any person that I would work, like if they say, no, I don't feel comfortable taking that, then we'll just go to something else, you know? Like it takes both. Like it takes two guys, and like you don't want to hurt the other guy, obviously. So
Do you have any pre-match rituals?
I do my Sandman stretches. I touch my toes twice and that's it. I've been like, as I got older, like I'm starting to stretch out a little bit more because like body's kind of wearing down a little bit. Which I'm only 32, but I've put a lot of miles on my body. But it used to be just like touch my toes twice, we'll call it good. I like to, before the show even starts, I like to just take one bump just so I can kind of get the jitters out, and I'll run the ropes a couple times, but that's about it. Like I really don't have like a pre-match ritual. I started shooting on the guys in the back this last show. I started like just grabbing them and like just trying to hold them down and shit. So like that might be a new pre-match ritual. But I was also out of my mind though that day too, because like I had just gotten the second COVID shot. I was running on very little sleep. So we'll see if I continue to do that. I might just chill. I might just chill the fuck out the next Magnum show.
Well, maybe we should like take bets on if we're gonna get like crazy out of your mind, Bo, or like chill, Bo.
I was definitely like I got done wrestling, and then like I had that like adrenaline high still, but like I was obviously really tired and I just didn't feel very good. So like all that all that mixed in together, like it was not a good mixture. Which the embarrassing part was super crazy was in the back then too, and like I'm over here shooting on TJ, and super crazy is just like looking at me like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? So before I left, I apologized to Stripe. I was just like, hey man, if you don't book me ever again, I definitely understand.
I'm sure that's not the worst thing you've done since you've known Jason Stripe.
Probably not. I don't know. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have to be a good role model.
So what would you say is like a dream match for you? Like either as an opponent or a type of match that you've never done that you would like to do?
So before Danny Havoc passed away, I really wanted to have a death match with Danny Havoc. I was also a big Sami Callihan fan when I was like just getting into independent wrestling. So like I'd want to wrestle Sami Callihan still in any sort of match. Like it didn't matter. Tag team wise, so like my tag team dream match would be me and Duke versus the Dudley Boys. Because like they were my favorite tag team growing up. Like you had like the Hardys and Edge and Christian. Like I was definitely like a Dudley Boys fan. This is where like my Markness comes out of it. So like Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, I'd really like to work with them at some point. Like just dream match possibilities. Like I don't know if it ever happened. The Young Bucks, I want to work with them. That would be so fun. Like all these with Duke. And Joe. Duke and Joe, of course. Because I don't want to tag with anybody else. Because I just have so much fun tagging with Duke and Joe. I'd probably be about it. Like, I mean, like show wise, like I would like to like be on like deathmatch tournaments. Like any deathmatch tournament I could get on, like I would be okay with. Because like just wrestling like here in Omaha, like there's not really like a big deathmatch scene like here in the Midwest. Like the further you go out east, like there's more. But I don't know if I could just get on a show that does death matches. Like I would be happy. I don't. I'm such a weirdo.
Bo Gott, deathmatch guy for hire.
I wish. Like that's what really got me into wrestling though. too, was like just that hardcore style of wrestling. So, and that's kind of what I just try to emulate. Like, I wrestle, like, I'm a subpar wrestler at best. So, which, I mean, I'll gladly take that. So, but like, I'll wrestle whatever style. Like, I feel like I can adapt to whatever style that I need to wrestle. But like deathmatch wrestling, I really like, that's just what got me into it. I guess like another like person like inspired me was Sick Nick Mondo. Like, I forgot to say him. Like, he's like actually like the first like American style deathmatch wrestler I ever watched. Him and like John Zandig, when they went off like the building of the bar onto those tables. So that was like my first taste of like American deathmatch wrestling, and I fell in love with it.
I worry for you.
I know.
So, moving right along, I know that you've traveled a lot. I know that, especially in the Midwest, everything's kind of spread out anyway. So you're looking at like a 2-3 hour drive, regardless of where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of equates to me to a lot of time on the road. So, what are some of your best like road stories? And you can go ahead. It can be like funny or exciting or however you want to quantify memorable. And you don't have to say names if it would be better for those people if you didn't.
Oh, but the names are what
But
makes
we
it
know
so much
it's
fun.
but we know it's going to be like Duke and Joe and Sean and Superfly and
Okay, so very early on, we got booked in a company uh, out of Wisconsin. So the show happens. We get the show done, and we all go out to the bar afterwards. And this is kind of like me and Superfly's like first experience at a bar. I will say we were 21, maybe. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I think the statute of limitations is already passed. Like, it's long gone.
I don't
So
think
we
they're
were
going to
20.
get you for it.
So we were 20. Maybe 19. But like, so we get there, and like it's like it was very like old timey, like green boys buy the beer. So like we weren't 21 at the time, and we didn't want to have to like show our IDs. So we were just like giving Sean the money because he was the only one I think that was 21 at the time. And like so like he was buying all the boys beer and stuff. So at the end of the night, they were like, we want the two youngest guys to come here. So that was obviously me and Superfly. And so they were like, we want you to rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins, we'll buy a shot. And we're like, we're drunk off our asses at this point. And we're like, yeah. So we're getting accepted. So we do the rock, paper, scissors things. Superfly wins. I go home pouting. But so they call this the blue tidal wave. Yeah. So it gets better. So it's a shot of UV blue. So Superfly takes the shot and he drinks it. And as he's drinking it, there's one of the old timers there gets a pitcher of water and splashes him while he's taking the shot. And so like Superfly soaked. I think we took my car, so like he's sitting in my car all soaked. So there was like 2 shows that weekend for the same company. Duke and Sean were driving because Duke didn't drink at that time. Like, he was completely like a straight edge dude.
This must have been a while ago.
I think this was like 2009, maybe. So we were just like getting in. And we end up like, we couldn't find anywhere to like park to sleep. So we ended up parking in the middle of this like softball field on the pitcher's mound. And we're just, yeah, so we're just sleeping there. Me and Superfly are cuddled up with each other in the back because, we've been friends for so long, might as well, right? And we were just obviously drunk. And so and so so Superfly, so about 6 o'clock in the morning comes around. Superfly's phone starts going off. Like his alarm was going off. And so Sean was in the passenger seat, Duke's in the driver's seat, and they're both thinking it's each other's phones. And so they're getting ready to fight because we're all just stupid tired. And and Superfly goes up and presses the snooze button, and then we go back to sleep. So off that tidal wave story, so we have a show in like Princeton, Illinois. Oh, I would say like 3 months after, and we had one of like the trainees with us. And I was training under the Central Empire Wrestling banner. I won't name his name because he's not involved in wrestling anymore, anyways. But so me and Superfly are drunk, and like, Duke's the one that's taking care of us. We all get together and we're like, we're gonna tidal wave this kid.
Aww.
And like, he was all about it. It was whatever. So like, he's like, I don't know, man, I don't take shots very well. And we were just like thinking he was fucking with us. And so we're like at this house. I don't remember whose house it was, but we're in Iowa City and we're at this like party, which I don't know how we got there. Because I was in the hatch of the car at the time, and I was just drinking in the hatch of the car. And so we're like, all right, man, we're gonna get you a shot. And like, all we had was tequila at this point, because we didn't have any like UV. Oh, I love tequila. Like, I can take shots of tequila all day. So we're like, we'll just get you a shot. He's like, I don't know, man, I don't take shots very well. And we're like, you'll be fine. You'll have a chaser or whatnot. And so we get down to this basement of this house, and this guy takes a shot. And as he's taking the shot, Superfly with a vengeance just throws this cup of water on this dude, because he's getting him back for the time he got it in Wisconsin. And so we throw it at him, and like, everything's fine. Like, and then all of a sudden there's a little baby spit up, and we're like, oh no, like, this is really happening. And all of a sudden this dude just rears back Triple H style and just power pukes. And we're like, no. So yeah, that's probably my road. It's not my like most favorite road story, but that's what came to mind when I thought of this. So yeah, that happened. And like, so we're all just like helping cleaning up the puke, whatnot, because obviously it's not our house. and we caused it. This is after we ran upstairs and we started like drunkenly laughing. Like, I was crying. Like, I laughed like a girl when I like get really into it. Superfly doesn't breathe. Like, he forgets how to breathe. So we get all that cleaned up and stuff, and then we leave the house because we're like, let's all get out of here.
Now's the time.
Yeah. So that's my road story, I think. There's a lot of like drunken nights in Minot, North Dakota. I don't think there was really any stories from Minot. Like, we would just get like in this like conference, like hall, like not hall, but conference room, and we just all be sitting around drinking beer. And like, I don't know, it's just the camaraderie with the boys, like, and girls for that fact matter. Like, everybody's welcome. Like, obviously, like, we're not up to those shenanigans anymore because we kind of grew up, and like, I don't know, like, we're just all kind of mellow and we like to drink, and that's about it. I know there was like a promo off at the last show, and I really wish I would have seen it. Like,
It was. Yeah, it was.
I was so sick. Like, I did not feel good whatsoever. I bounced like halfway through the show. So
I was gonna say, you kind of just disappeared, but
yeah, I went, like, I got a hotel room that night. I just like, I crashed.
you're gonna need to talk to Danny. She has videos.
Okay, cool. I'll have her send me some. But other than that, like, other than those like stories, like, I don't know. I've forgotten a lot of them. I take a lot of hits to the head, and I tend to drink when I go to wrestling shows. So, because like in all honesty, I really don't drink around home. Like I'll have a beer or two, but I don't get like sloshy drunk unless if like I just sit around by myself and play video games. But and then I just end up passing out. So
So no shenanigans to be had at that point.
no, not really. Like I mean, like I said, I'm getting older, and I kind of just like to be mellow and just kind of drink. That's about it. I don't know. Not saying that there's not going to be any shenanigans in the future, because like I'm starting to travel a lot more. So plus I'm out of my mind sometimes, and I get crazy. And I start shooting on people in locker rooms. I mean, obviously it's people I know. I'm not just going to randomly like shoot on like some random dude.
A better way to make a new friend.
Yeah, or get my ass kicked. One of the two.
If you're at Magnum, you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, I know.
I can't speak for anywhere else.
I was shooting on the new boys, like the green boys. I was shooting on the old. I shot on Strife.
Yeah, Green Boy Strife.
Green Boys. Well, I'm Green Boy Bo right now. Like I'm only 3 months in. Like this is a whole new start for me.
How long were you out?
3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, like my single match with Damian Saint, I hadn't wrestled a singles match in 3 years.
And you decided to come back.
I did.
Because nobody can ever really leave wrestling forever.
I thought, in all honesty, I was going to, but like at some point, like something switched in my brain. Like I need to go back and just do this. Like like that's why I started streaming, and like outside hobbies of mine. I'm in an axe throwing league.
You're in an axe throwing league?
Yeah. Yep. So
cool.
So like I was just kind of trying to like fill the void with those, but like nothing beats like wrestling. Nothing beats like the instant gratification of a crowd or the long build of a crowd, you know. I couldn't stay away forever. Plus I'm 32, but like I can still do this. Like
I mean, you're not that old.
I'm not that old, but like taking 3 years off at that point, like it like I've never felt like rusty in a wrestling ring, but like I felt a little rusty like the first match I came back. The second match I felt just fine, but like I just kind of have to get like my wheels under me again. So the more times I wrestle, the better I'll get. I promise.
That just means you have to keep wrestling, and you can never stop ever, and you have to wrestle forever.
I don't know about that, but I'm gonna give it a good solid college try again.
So other than your axe throwing league and video gaming, what other hobbies do you have outside of wrestling?
That's about it, to be quite honest with you. Like I have I have axe throwing on Thursday nights. Video games I play when I get a chance. It's like I said, I have a little 4-year-old who's a wild man. Which I think you seen last month. Like he's just running around trying to get in the ring and has like no sense of fear, which he gets that. I'll say
perfect.
He gets that from me. He gets that from me. But like that's about it. I work long hours during the week. I work up to like 56, 58 hours a week. And then I go wrestle and I go axe throwing during the week. And whenever I get time, I'll play some video games. I'm not much of a reader unless if it has pictures. So I bought a kettlebell because I don't have a gym membership again. Or I don't have a gym membership. So like I bought a kettlebell so I work out in my backyard. And like I'll do pull-ups on my kids' like swing set, and I'll work with the kettlebell, and I'll do push-ups and sit-ups, and then I'll throw my kid over my shoulder, and I'll do laps around my yard. That's how I get my cardio in.
So, what would you tell a 10-year-old version of yourself?
To go ahead and live your dreams. Don't worry about college. Get a factory job. And I would honestly tell him not to quit, because I think that's probably going to be one of the biggest regrets I ever have. I'm glad I came back, but like I was gone for 3 years. Like you don't get that
3 years.
You don't get that time back. You know, like if you truly love something, don't quit.
Wow, that was very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
Inspirational.
Yes, that's a great word.
So that's what I'd tell 10-year-old me. And to quit being so goddamn shy and timid. Be spontaneous and outgoing. People like you better that way.
Well, it's because people know you're there that way. If you're shy and timid, nobody notices you.
I mean, there's times where like I'm quiet still, but like that's just because I'm taking everything in, and I'm a people watcher too. So yeah.
Like, what dumb shit have I done in front of you?
Nothing. Nothing that comes to mind. So
fair enough. Great. Perfect. Moving right along before you think of something. So, upcoming shows.
Ooh. So I have this weekend Puffamania in Fargo, North Dakota. I am in a grade A decent match with I'm in a triple threat match. It's Rock Hard Ross and why I love this guy. Why am I blanking on it? His name's Q. I call him Q. So why can't I remember his name? But his worker name, Headshots, and Q. So and then May 8th, I am wrestling for Zawa live.
Nice.
Yep. That was kind of a last minute deal, which I lucked out and got the booking. May 22nd, I am back at Magnum Pro wrestling TJ Benson for the Top Gun title or championship in the tournament finals.
Ooh.
And that's really it right now. I have to go back and look at my calendar for June, but that's all of May. And if I can get like a couple shows here and there, I think I got like May 15th and May 29th open. Those are the only 2 weekends that I have open.
May 15th, May 29th. Book
Get at
Bo
me.
Gott
Get at me on Twitter. I don't
Bo
remember
Gott in a death match.
I don't remember my Twitter handle, but I'm sure it'll get posted on here. Or just look me up on Facebook as Brian Gott. Easiest way to get a hold of me. Or you can send an email to gunsandbeer01@gmail.com.
So, how do you prefer your pancakes? Like, how do you usually take your pancakes? I told you we would get here.
I know. I'm so excited. I love pancakes. If I'm at a restaurant, I just do the typical butter and syrup. But if I'm at home, this is real delicious. You spread peanut butter on top of your pancakes, and then you put a shit ton of syrup on top. Like as much syrup as your plate can physically hold. I usually triple stack my pancakes. So I spread the peanut butter one at a time, and then I stack them again. And then I just put a bunch of syrup on them.
So you make oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, so you make like a pancake peanut butter like sandwich almost?
Yeah. It's so I have done this since I was a kid. And this is how I eat my pancakes at home every time.
I'm glad that you're so enthusiastic about pancakes. I've had people on here that are waffle people, and I'm like,
really?
Not sure I trust waffle people. I'll be 100.
I don't like waffles.
I don't like the only waffles that I kind of sort of like are the waffles from Waffle House, but that is only because they have very shallow holes
Hmm.
And they don't have that like, and they seem a little bit more almost pancake like.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been to a Waffle House. So if I can get booked
What?
anywhere where there's a Waffle House, I've been to a Cracker Barrel, but not a Waffle House yet.
I'm sorry, you've been wrestling for
We'll just say 10 years because I took
10
3 years.
years.
Yeah.
And you've traveled
Yeah.
and you've never been to a Waffle House?
Any promoter that is booking, please have me on your shows if you are close to a Waffle House.
It is, I mean, it is imperative that you at some point experience
At some
like
point, I
a
need
2
to.
a.m. Waffle House.
Yeah. Like I've experienced a 2 a.m. Perkins and a
I
2
mean,
a
that's special, but
and a 2 a.m. Village Inn, but I have never experienced a Waffle House yet.
wow.
That's another goal on my wrestling list. Let's write that down for me. Goals for Brian. Goals for Brian while he's wrestling. Wrestle on a WrestleMania weekend show. Go to a Waffle House.
Death match.
with light tubes, because that's the only thing I haven't done yet.
You want light tubes?
Real, yeah. Yes, I do.
I mean, I was trying to think. I was like, have I ever gotten? I mean, I've never gotten hit with a light tube. I've gotten like debris from a light tube.
Oh yeah,
I've never like hit with one.
I've never,
which I hope to never.
Even when I was like a little shitty kid in backyard wrestling, like I never used a light tube, and that's another goal. Use light tube.
Book Bo Gott on your Mania weekend deathmatch show with light tubes.
Just get a hold of me. I'm here. I plan on going anyways.
Never know.
Yeah, we'll see. Or they might just watch this and be like, God, this guy's really fucking annoying.
Well, I hope that we don't negatively impact your wrestling trajectory.
I mean, if we have, we've already done it already. So let's just keep on going.
Keep the train rolling. So I'm actually at my last question, and then I'm sure that we will have Chuck come in with questions from chat, which I'm sure there are some. I assume that there was people watching. I just can't see it from where I'm at. So
yeah, I can't either.
But so I'm gonna set like a scene for you, okay? So
okay.
You're hungry, rumbling in your tummy. You're like, you know what I really could use? I could really use something sweet, like a cookie, right? Mm-hmm. So you go to the store and you're walking down the aisle and you see it just kind of shining out of the corner of your eye. You're like, Oreo cookies, like that's exactly what I want. It's America's favorite cookie.
I'm a big Oreo guy.
Okay, so are you going to pick a double stuffed Oreo or a single stuffed Oreo?
Definitely double stuffed.
Oh, I knew you would be my favorite.
Yes.
That is the unofficial correct answer of that question.
Why wouldn't you get a double stuff is my question. Like, the filling is the best part.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I'd have to have like a glass of milk with me too, but
I mean, you can get that after the cookies. It's fine.
I guess. Yeah, but definitely double stuff.
Like, I know like some people pick single stuff because they like the flavors.
The flavor is a little different.
But that's not going to be like an everyday go-to for me. Like, I hate that you have to buy like the flavors in like a giganto pack. Like, I just want like 4.
Yeah, I mean, I end up eating them all anyways. That or Owen helps me because he's an Oreo guy too. So, and we get him the double stuffed Oreos because Dad likes the double stuffed Oreos too.
Solid. You like pancakes and double stuffed Oreos, and
did we just become best friends?
I think so.
We already were, so it's okay.
See, like I've known you for a long time, but I didn't know these things about you. So that's what it's like. That's the fun part about this is that like even though I'm interviewing somebody that I've known for a long time, it's like to actually sit down and talk for an hour and a half.
Have we gone an hour and a half already?
Yeah, we have.
Yes. You never know, we might hit that 2-hour mark.
Fingers crossed. Let's see
Maybe
what.
I probably got to go to bed here soon.
Well, too bad for you, I guess.
I know. I committed, and I stick to my commitments most of the time.
I appreciate that about you. So, gentlemen, do we have any questions from the chat?
Well, lucky for you guys.
I'm so scared for these questions because I
we-
know who's all jumped on.
We do have some questions in the chat. So,
God, here we go.
First one, and I will date myself. I actually had to go look up what the heck this question was in regards to. But Kill Nino asks, what is your favorite flavor of Faygo?
Oh, the rock and rye.
Okay.
That's my favorite flavor. Oh, me and Nino just become best friends this weekend. So he's my other new best friend.
Nino, suck it. Bo and I are best friends now.
So
can you have more than one?
Of course. Of course
you know who my real life best friend is. Let's not get it twisted.
She's the best too. So
we're gonna be a group of best friends.
God, I love Danny.
Isn't she the best?
She is. I sat next to her with ice on my ribs from the last show, and I'm like, Danny, I think I fucked up my ribs. She's like, oh no.
Okay, so I think you answered this one before, but the Dozer Cometh asks,
oh God, here we go.
Favorite tag team partner, and I know you answered it before, but if you want to, feel free to say it again.
Joe and Duke.
Okay,
it's a tie.
Our very own TBM Christopher asks, what stipulation match do you want to have that you've never been able to book?
A no rope barbed wire match with light tubes.
That's it. Nothing more dangerous. That's it.
Yep.
So mild.
Yeah. I mean,
I've always wanted to have a no rope barbed wire match. So maybe I can get a little wild after I have that one.
Okay. Big Mo 10583 asks, who is someone you want to have a death match with?
Marcus Crane comes to mind. He just came back to wrestling though too. Definitely Nick Gage. Ricky Shane Page. I'm just like naming off guys that I'm thinking like that I would actually would want to work. And Old Man Manser.
Nice.
Those four.
Okay, we just had a late breaking question come into the chat from Craig O'Mac. He wants to know what your favorite tattoo is that you have.
Oh, I'm tatted up pretty well. So like I got like the typical 18-year-old get your last name tattooed on your body. And it's on my stomach. And then I added some wings to it. So I think I like that one the best. My second favorite would be my Handsome Jack tattoo.
Nice. Christopher has another question. Talking about the hardest hitting opponent, who has it been that you've been in the ring with?
Damian Saint probably hit the hardest. The Tomaselli brothers were pretty snug. So I would honestly say probably the Tomasellis.
Okay. Now, before I get to this question about a possible story, Dozer comes in again and he wants to know, what is the appropriate number of bathroom stops on a road trip?
Oh God.
I feel like there's a story here.
Right?
Well, we used to, I won't name any names, but we used to ride on these car trips with some people, with a certain person that would want to stop and take a piss or take a shit every 30 minutes on the road. So like, think if you're driving 12 hours to a show.
That person would be walking.
Every 30 minutes. The most appropriate answer I can give to you is every time you stop for gas.
That is a good answer in my mind.
Seems reasonable. How much extra time would your road trips take if you had to stop to go to the bathroom every half hour?
It made our road trips a lot longer than what they should have been.
Is this somebody I know?
Yes.
You're gonna have to tell
talk.
me who this is.
Oh,
We'll talk. We'll talk afterwards.
Brilliant.
okay. So here is the question that could turn into a rather interesting story.
Ooh.
And it comes from our very own Pop Icon 82. and the question / story is about slapping him with poop. And I will leave it at that.
I forgot about this. Okay, so me and Donnie Pepper Cricket did a pinata death match at a Cinco de Mayo show for Magnum Pro. We were the main event of the match, and my character. Have you guys ever seen the movie Bronson?
No.
Okay, so Tom Hardy plays this like criminal that would just fight people in prison, and so like he would strip down to his underwear and like have somebody rub like butter all over him so he's real slippery so the guards can't get a hold of him. So I kind of adapted that character to my wrestling persona. So I would strip down literally to my whitey tighties. So we had the great idea. We had the great idea of putting a candy bar in my whitey tighties while I'm wrestling. And so we're doing the match. And it gets to the spot where I pull out the shit out of my underwear and I smack Donnie Pepper Cricket with it. The only bad thing about that was, I don't know why, but I didn't put the candy bar in soon enough because it didn't fully melt. So it looked like I literally slapped him with shit.
Oh, man.
I get real wild, man.
Okay, so that was all the questions from the chat, I believe. If you want, I do have a 10-question quick lightning round. I will leave it up to you, sir.
Let's do it.
Okay,
I'm
here we go.
Baby. I'm here for the long haul.
Here we go. Favorite day of the week?
Friday.
Favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Cake or pie?
Pie.
A movie question, Godfather or the original Star Wars trilogy?
I would have to go with the original Star Wars trilogy because I've never seen Godfather.
Okay. Would you eat a day-old taquito from 7-Eleven?
Yes.
Favorite Mortal Kombat character and favorite fatality?
Baraka, but my favorite fatality is off of Mortal Kombat 11 where Johnny Cage plays a dead body as a puppet.
Nice. What TV sitcom family would you be a part of?
Oh God. Probably Randy Marsh from South Park. I'd be part of the Marsh family because I love that. I love Randy Marsh.
Last band or artist that you listen to?
I just listened to Cardi B, actually.
What's your favorite word?
Fuck.
And the last one, what is your least favorite beverage?
I don't have Sunny Delight. I hate Sunny Delight.
Okay, that's it. That's 10.
Hell yeah, look at
Boom.
That
that.
was quick.
Right through.
Think on my toes.
Well, thank you for hanging out with me tonight.
Hell yeah,
I know it's kind of short notice, but it's been super fun for me.
Yeah, it was fun for me too. I hope you guys had a good time and laughing at my dumbass.
Well, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, this has been The Stack. I'm ValPancakes, and this has been Bo Gott. Please follow him on all social media outlets. Please plug your socials if you can recall them.
Bo Gott GNB on Twitter. You can just friend request me at Brian Gott on Facebook. Brian Gott 88 on Instagram, and that's it. I don't have no I can't get into TikTok.
I signed up for TikTok only so I could register ValPancakes so nobody else could have it.
Good.
And
Good.
I don't
Smart
use it.
move. Yeah, I can't even watch it. Like, I mean, like there's some stuff on there that's funny, and then like there's some people I know that are on there, but like other than that, like I just can't watch it. I don't know. I'm more of a YouTube guy. So
Fair enough. And make sure to,
when I do start streaming again,
yes.
I think it's Brian. I think it's just Brian Gott on Twitch. I'll keep you updated. I was supposed to stream like two weeks ago and I never did. So
streaming is so difficult when you don't do anything.
Yeah.
So make sure to follow him on all the social media and catch up on his matches from Magnum Pro on IWTV.
And $9.99 a month.
Use code Magnum if you haven't signed up yet.
Are they still doing codes? Because I think I got the like after May or after March 31st or something. They weren't going to take the codes anymore.
So you don't get the free trials anymore, but you can still put the code in, and then it gives credit of some kind to
definitely
the promotion.
Definitely type in Magnum Pro or Magnum, whatever it is.
I think it's just Magnum.
Okay, type in Magnum.
But thank you, Bo, for joining me tonight. And thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. And I hope that you all have a delightful evening. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. You guys have a good night.